like a real rapper, like Eminem or somebody, or Ice Cube or something. Maybe get Ice Cube up in there, man, or Snoop.
All right, before we begin the show, let's thank our sponsors. First and foremost, our title sponsor, Once Upon a Coconut, all natural, non-GMO coconut water with natural electrolytes and no added sugar. You can choose from pure blueberry, pineapple, watermelon, sparkling energy, and chocolate flavors with Once Upon a Coconut. Stay hydrated and refreshed. And if you're wondering why it tastes so darn good, it's due to a combination of factors, including the freshness and sweetness of young coconut water, the lack of additives, and the natural electrolytes present. And the best part about it, Once Upon a Coconut, 10% of profits go to charity that benefit our communities, including the Down Syndrome Foundation, Breast Cancer Foundation, Leukemia Society. Good things, good people, great product. So you can grab it at some Sprouts. You can grab it on Amazon. You can go online to find a store near you or purchase it right there off of their website, onceuponacoconut.com. It is delish. Big thanks to Inspect All Pest Services, our buddy Nick and the crew over at Inspect All Pest Services, providing the highest quality termite, pest, and wildlife control. That's not all they do. Inspect All can take care of your insulation, pressure washing, gutter maintenance, and other home services in Metro Atlanta and the surrounding areas. Remember, seasonal, you get different bugs and critters all around your house, so you want to go with the best in the business, and that would be one of our fine sponsors from day one, InspectAllServices.com. It's the Mad Dog, Manny Aurora, with the Aurora Law Firm, best darn defense attorney in the world, litigating all over the United States, based out of Georgia. We're talking criminal defense, white-collar crime, DUI, drug offenses, appeals, and more. And you can always get your legal questions answered by the Mad Dog, Manny Aurora, by getting those to me. And when he pops up on a show, you get your questions answered. So go to thebaileyshow.com and we'll get those questions to the Mad Dog. The Aurora Law Firm.com. He is the best in the business when it comes to therapists. There's no doubt about that. I use them, and so should you. We're talking about Dr. David Markwell with Ridgeline Counseling. He's got 10 therapists in-house, 3 different locations there in Georgia, one across from Sprayberry High School in Sandy Plains in East Cobb, Marietta near the Square in McKaysville, just outside of Blue Ridge. But if you're not in Georgia and you need to talk to the good doctor, then you can go online and get virtual sessions. Ridgeline Counseling at gmail.com if you'd like to email him directly, or go online to markwelltherapy.com. There is no better time to check if your insurance is any good. That's why FBC Insurance is waiting for you to reach out. You can call them at 888-308-1841 or email them info@fbcinsuranceservices.com. I just switched up my car insurance because I got a better deal at FBC Insurance. They were the people to find it. Perfect for new homeowners, especially if you're trying to reshop those current insurance policies. 5-star service, multi-policy, bundled discounts, and they're going to shop every carrier out there to find the best insurance for your house, flood, storm season, auto, motorcycle, boat, recreational vehicle, or just a personal policy. 888-308-1841 or go online, FBCInsuranceServices.com. Another one of our great sponsors in storm season. You have to talk to the good people at Alternate Power Solutions of Georgia. Family owned and operated. They are a Generac generator dealer, founded in 2012. So storm season, power goes out. Who knows when it's coming back on? Don't be that guy or girl that does not have a backup plan and having power for whatever it be, especially medical devices, fans, air conditioning, so on and so forth. Offering sales, service, installation, and repair of automatic home standby and portable generators, every single one of you. When you become a customer at Alternate Power Solutions of Georgia, you get an upgraded warranty, free monitoring, and warranty repair. A+ rating with the BB&B, and you pay nothing until the job is complete. Call or request a free home assessment. You can go to their website, poweringgeorgia.com, or buzz them at 770-853-7571. Use the discount code Bailey, my last name, and get $500 off your entire installation. All right? Servicing Georgia and Tennessee. Alive Ozone Therapy Spa in Altamont Springs, Florida. This is mine and my wife's wellness spa. If you have an autoimmune, cancer, HIV, just simple biohacking, long COVID, the answer is yes to just about anything that's going on in your body. Most of the time it starts with inflammation, and ozone therapy, it decreases inflammation. So ozone therapy, we are the first and only to do it in Central Florida. That is a live ozone therapy spa. We also offer red light therapy, halo therapy, pressotherapy, PMF grounding mat, as well as naturally in-house made ozone infused products like the magnesium butter that many of you absolutely love. Ozone therapy, what is it? Quickly, it repairs and rejuvenates your cells to the mitochondrial level by using activated unlimited oxygen. Simple as that. No side effects. That's all there is to it. It's a 30-minute session, and you actually burn up to 600 calories when you're in the Hocket sauna. We do it the most non-invasive way. So whether you're in the area or you want to travel, book an appointment, AliveOzoneTherapySpa.com. All the products you can get there as well. And remember, for you two peers, use the discount code BS10 to take that off those online products. If you want to be a sponsor of the show, reach out to me via thebaileyshow.com. And if you are a listener of this podcast and you need any of our great sponsors, please reach out to them. Now, let's begin.
I think we should do a podcast about rock and roll. And that's what stories.
Yeah, let's do it. Welcome to the Vinyl Road Podcast.
All right, there it is, episode 18 of your Vinyl Road Podcast, you Vinyl Roadie sons of guns. It's on the BPX. That is the Bailey Podcast Exchange. 3 different shows, 5 days a week, 1 podcast feed. You can get all of the details, and you can subscribe to the sub shows on the brand new revamped, looks very good actually, JasonBailey.com. JasonBailey.com. Thanks to all the great sponsors for the BPX. Thanks to our title sponsor. I'm drinking the chocolate version right now of the Once Up. Yeah, it's so good, dude. It puts you to shame, man.
So good.
Once Upon a Coconut, onceuponacoconut.com. Go there, put your zip code in, find out where they sell it nearest you, or you can order online. Use the discount code BSPodcast10 in order to get a discount there at checkout and save yourself some Geetuses. With that being said, thanks for being here. My name is Jason Bailey. There he is, tired, on tour, rocking and rolling. Mr. Brad Stewart. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Cedisa, ¿cómo se va? I'm good, man. We're in a rainy Washington today. It's actually a non-show day. Seattle was supposed to be tonight, and it canceled. I don't know. We were supposed to play the Crocodile there in Seattle, and I don't know. Shit happens, man.
This is the first time that's happened on tour?
This is the only show that's canceled. Most of the shows have been pretty well attended. I don't know. I mean, Monday night, whatever. I don't know. It wasn't really like a big club either. So I don't know what exactly happened, but I'm actually okay with it because that would have been 5 in a row. So, last night was 4 of 5 in a row, but tonight, since it canceled, we have a non-show day today, and it's beautiful to have a night off sometimes, an unexpected night off. You know what I mean?
I'm assuming it's one of those things, right? I mean, we can only, as fans, imagine what it would be. 1, you got to be talented enough to do it. 2, then get booked. And then 3, be well attended. Obviously, you've covered all those bases throughout your career, but just like anyone, you reach a kind of boiling point, and let's be honest, you're not 20 years old anymore, right? So you get to that, you get to that stage, you're like, all right, thank you for canceling that show. The kid needs a rest, right?
You're right. And I mean, it's a Monday. I mean, come on, give us a break here. I mean, but they actually added 2 shows. So at the end of the tour, which I wanted to mention to you. So we're doing Biketoberfest down in Daytona, which had been tentative for a while, and we were just waiting for it to come in and get confirmed. So that will be the 17th of October. So we're gonna have to fly from Austin, Texas, which was supposed to be the end of the tour, to Orlando, then roll to Daytona, play on rental gear at the I believe we're playing Iron Horse again, if I'm not mistaken. Play the show, go back to the Orlando airport, fly out at 5:30 a.m. to Midland, Texas.
Oh, football team, Midland, yeah.
Midland. Right. So then that will be on the 18th, and that will be the end of that tour. And then we have a show on the 25th in North Carolina, and they added Galveston, Texas, November 6th. So that's Galveston's Lone Star Bike Rally. We do a lot of the bike rally things. Saliva tends to do pretty well with that crowd, and it's always it's typically a fun time. They love us there. So
bikers are awesome, dude. Bikers,
yeah,
they are so not judgmental as long as you have a guitar, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. Those
there's
that dude, they're amazing. When we did the Buffalo trip, they're revving their engines and shit. They're all crazy. It was
bikers
cool.
bikers get such a bad rap because of, I mean, obviously the Hells Angels situation. So I'm not saying, those clubs and they got their thing going on, but for just like these bike weeks, especially Daytona, you've got all walks of life, every single color human being, and they're just out there for their love of bikes, man. And they love America. They love their bikes. They love their beers. They love their girls. They love their rock and roll. And if you can intertwine into that fabric, you're going to have the best time of your life, man. It's such a good time. It's
Absolutely, and I
awesome.
mean, since some of those promoters actually book several of the festivals, or the all over the country. So and they're friends of ours. So it's kind of like Jackal is a good, they do a lot of them, and we did, of course, with Gene Simmons, we did the Chip, and they book bigger bands too. A Five Finger, I mean, it's pretty good.
Fog Hat's a big biker
Fog
band.
Hat,
Yeah,
yeah,
Fog Hat's a big one. 38 Special. Uh,
38, yeah.
yeah, Skinner. Oddly enough, and maybe because of their price tag, you would think Skinner would be the biker, band. But in my career, I've never done a concert at a Harley Davidson or something with Skinner. And always was like, why? They're just so perfect, but they're, it is what it is. So the October 17th, obviously that's our neck of the woods, between you and I, Orlando, Jacksonville. Are you going to be there enough time where I could come over and we could record?
Possibly.
Okay.
I might be a little beat up, but we can give it a shot.
Well, no, what I would
You
do
know?
is if you could introduce me to, the club people, I can take it from there and I could say, hey, this is who I am and blah, blah, blah. Just have a connection. And then I'll come over and I'll set everything up because they're already going to be open. And then we
Right.
can just record. I'll bring my equipment. We can just record and go from there. Boom.
So that's a Friday. So we could just do it maybe just like a live thing you're thinking? I
Let's
mean,
do it before you guys go on stage.
okay.
Yeah. I mean, like
That
way
should be
before.
doable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like way before,
Okay.
because I want to hang out and obviously I want to watch you guys. So, I mean, is it all of you or just Saliva?
I think that one's just Saliva. That's not the tour package. So I think the tour package will end in Austin with Earshot, the founder, and Lilac.
All right.
I don't think they're on the Midland show. I could be mistaken. I know Bobby was saying that that promoter welcome them to that lineup for that show, but I don't know if that's been confirmed with the other bands, or if, I mean, some of these bands, they may have other stuff because they were counting on it to end on the 16th. So, but we're just gonna have to see, I guess, on that part.
Well, I heard through the grapevine that there's a big festival that was looking to book you guys in the next year. So I don't, but I'm sure they've already started doing that. I can't say. I'm sure you know which one I'm talking about, but
They already actually announced, and we're on it. Yes, if you're talking about Rockville.
no, I wasn't
Oh,
talking about Rockville. Oh,
oh,
really? So you're
oh
on
yeah.
next year's Rockville? They've already announced it? I
Bobby
don't
showed
think.
me something where they had like like a teaser where it was these bands. It may have been Louder in Life. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I haven't seen anything. I'm talking about a different festival, one that you and I are very familiar with.
Oh,
But
I see. I
yeah,
know the one you're talking
yeah,
about.
but don't say what it is because this was months ago. I'd been talking with somebody very close to that festival, and they're saying, yeah, one of the bands, because I was trying to, get you guys and do all this. Anyway, that's cool. So the tour, you're in Washington State, you've been in Oregon, both very volatile states right now in this country. There's a lot of ICE police presence, protesting. I mean, that's unfortunately that's what's going on. I think Ice Cube's bus got oopsie daisied and firebombed because they didn't understand Ice Cube was a person and has nothing to do with the federal people.
I could actually clear that up. My buddy Les Targonsky, who actually ran production for the Danny Wimmer festivals for the last 20 years, ended his tenure with Danny, but he's actually was with Ice Cube. and it still is as doing his production. And he made a post because he was like, "Look, it wasn't because people thought it was ice." Or, you know what I mean? He said that basically some homeless person was trying to break into their bus and couldn't break in and got pissed and somehow ignited or started a fire and tried to basically burn down the bus. But there was no one on it. Um, he clarified that they were all in their hotel rooms, and so no one got hurt. But he was like, I think the media kind of ran with it and said, "Oh, it must have been because it said ice on the side of it, but it was really Ice Cube and all this bullshit." But no,
Right.
it had nothing to do with that. From what he was saying, he made the post on Facebook,
Oh,
and
okay.
he would know because he's right there, ground zero. And I mean, he's just did Australia with Ice Cube. He's done, he's been doing a lot of stuff with him. So,
Dude, I love
um,
Ice Cube. Love Ice Cube, dude.
love
One
Ice Cube. Me too.
one of the best moments. I've interviewed him a couple times, and every time he comes on, I do my NWA for him. I'm like, to the people over here, to the people over there, to the people from everywhere watching this show, paying top dollar because they know when I'm on the stage, I'm in a motherfucking Radio Dre. What up? Why don't you get the 12 gauge? Let's show them how easy does it. You punks want to make something of it? Run up, get up. What's up, sucker? You want some of this? And you're a dumb motherfucker. Kick it like the kick from a kick drum. Yellow Boy and the drum didn't go. Dude, I said, and I was like, okay, be honest. I go, be honest with me. 1 out of 10. And man, he just was like, I was like, I love you so much, dude. I don't care what you say. I love you so much, Ice Cube.
What was the score? Yeah, tell us. Come on, man. What did he give you?
I think the first time he gave me like a charity 5, and then the second time it was like a 3.5 or something. Yeah. But at least
Step up your game, bro. Come on, man. In front of Cube. Come on.
I'm a suburban white guy / rednecky that's sitting there trying to do NWA. But I was like, if I get a chance to do it, for Ice Cube, that's a dream come true, man. I mean, and it's weird because I've interviewed so many artists, like Gavin Rosdale is, as far as rock stars go, he's my upper echelon. He's my guy. But I'm not sitting there singing Glycerine to him. Isn't that weird? But I'll sit there and I'll rap to Ice Cube. Kind of odd.
Ballsy. That's a pretty ballsy move, dude. Honestly, I think Cube's a legend. I don't know that I would pull that one.
Yeah. So how is it torn over there? I mean, I'm always curious on, because you guys, I mean, Saliva is not a geographic band. You don't look at it and go like, you're not a Southern rock band or anything like that. So you guys are well received in all parts of the country, I'm assuming, yeah?
I mean, there's some spots where there's room to grow, if you
Oh,
will.
really?
But no, I mean, once we played up in Minot and then North Dakota, and I knew once we headed west to Montana that the Montana shows were going to be killer, and they were. The Elm, we played the Elm in Bozeman, and we played the Newberry in Great Falls, and it was packed, and people were fucking going crazy. I mean, in places like that, I don't know that they get a ton of shows. So the whole town showed up, man, and it was I couldn't wait to get out to Montana. I love it out there. Last tour we also did Missoula and we did Billings too. I don't know why we didn't do those two towns again on this tour, but just the countryside's beautiful. The air's clean. The people are cool. We did Spokane last night, and of course, I took my bike around town. I don't know if you've ever been to Spokane, Washington. And
No.
I mean, I don't think the band had played the Knitting Factory where we played last night in 12, 13 years. So it was cool to go back to that spot. I had played it before. They used to have one. I think they still have one in Boise, and maybe like there was one in California or something, but kind of like a House of Blues type vibe. But it was a lot of fun. But I was cruising around the town, man, and I don't know. It's beautiful, man. There's like waterfalls and like rapids and stuff running through the middle of the town, and they have like a skate park and all this cool stuff for the residents there, man. And yeah, I enjoy this area of the country a lot because Florida. I love Florida, of course. We got the ocean,
Right.
and we got some lakes and some rivers and shit. But this area, like, it's just like different. The trees are different. Just the landscape is just beautiful, man. And actually, we used to do a show in Hayden, Idaho, which is a little north of Coeur d'Alene. I don't know if you're familiar with Coeur d'Alene, but it's like a resort kind of tucked in this, like, on this lake, and it looks like you're in Scotland or something, man. It's just such a cool part of the country. I'm just proud. I'm just proud. Like that's actually America. You know what I mean? It's cool. It's fucking beautiful. I mean, I think a lot of celebrities live in Coeur d'Alene or they have homes there, like super duper,
Mhm.
like Oprahs of the world and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like they have homes there. You know.
Is there any city on this Saliva tour, or just in general, any city that whether it's Saliva or Fuel or Shinedown, that when you went to perform, you got a little nervous because of the city and maybe a prior experience?
I mean, there was the time in Phoenix where they were chanting Eddie when we were on the Van Halen tour. That kind of sucked. You know, thankfully in the bands I've been in, we haven't really had a ton of like animosity towards us. There was one time though when I was filling in for Dave Novotny, the original bass player for Saliva in 2008, and it was Seven Dust, Saliva, Never Set, and a band called Overseen, and we were playing the Starland Ballroom in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And so Shinedown, we crushed in New Jersey, like that whole area. Dude, we'd go there and we'd sell out and pack, especially at that venue in particular. Well, this time I'm there with Saliva filling in, and they're not having it, dude. They did not like the fucking band. I don't know what it was. I don't know if Josie said something. Josie was still in the band, of course, 2008. I don't know if he said something right out of the gates and it fucking pissed him off or whatever happened, but it was tough, dude. And John Montoya was in the band, and John used to put beer in his mouth and spit it up in the air and shit, and it would get on people. And some people were like, "Oh yeah, whatever." They did not. They were not having it, bro. They were fucking pissed. He almost got his ass kicked after the show. I'm serious. I'm like, John, go to the fucking bus, dude, before they kill you. But so that's one of those times where I was like, man, like I used to have great experiences here, and now guilty by association. I'm just filling in at that point. You know, I hadn't joined the band until that would be 2015 when I actually joined the
Yeah,
band.
I guess you always wonder, like you go to a city, and depending how in this case Saliva tour or tours in the past have been promoted, are they actually Saliva fans, or like are you doing a casino gig where you're getting a lot of free tickets and you just have strays walking in because they got a free ticket? And they're like, what is this stuff? And just not interested. And then they're drinking and then get belligerent, and then it just ruins the entire show. Cause I've seen that a million different times, mainly at the casino shows.
Well, they paper the room a lot of times they just
Right.
want people in there gambling. So a lot of times they'll even be like, y'all don't even have to play a full hour. Just do what you do. And then they want to get them out there on the floor
Mm-hmm.
to take their money. Of course they do. They don't give a shit. I mean, I've seen it before though, when like we did a show actually on this tour, and it was in North Dakota, and they were doing their derby, their car thing. And which I love the Dakotas, man. But you could tell like there were some fans out there, but a lot of the people, if you had admission to the Crash Up Derby thing, you also that granted you permission to the Saliva concert. So
Right.
they knew like Click Click Boom and Always. They knew some of the songs, but for the most part, I mean, I feel like we still put on an entertaining show, whether you're a fan or not. Hopefully we won some fans at that point. You know what I mean? And then they go back and listen and wish that they had known more of the songs. But that kind of thing happens, bro. I mean, it's like, but then you go to the next town and the whole crowd knows every word to the songs, even the new songs. And one thing that I have been seeing lately too, since we've been out west, is a lot of young people in the crowd. And it's like, it makes me feel like rock and roll is now kind of coming back on the upswing there, and becoming popular with younger folks out there, man. And they know like the words to the new songs, which is also a cool thing. They're not just waiting around to the end for the, for the ones that they know or whatever. It's like, they know they come back stronger, even Hit 'Em Where It Hurts. We just put that one out, and people are singing along to that song and stuff. So that's really cool. In fact, while we're here in Portland, the Portland area, which we're actually in Washington. We're not in Portland. We don't want people to set our bus on fire. So we decided to go a little north into the Washington area. But we're going to shoot a video for a song that that Austin Winkler did with Saliva. Of course, Austin being the former singer of Hinder.
Yeah.
So we're shooting that video tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, the song's called "Too Broke to Fix." So yeah, it's gonna be cool, man. We're excited about it. The show here in Portland is not till Wednesday, so we have a couple of days, in town.
Who's shooting it?
To
Like,
do
do you have
something.
a production?
Jeff Mosey. Well, Jeff Mosey, who did the Crowd Goes Wild video, who's also our content guy, our photographer, our merch guy.
Yeah.
He's gonna shoot it, and then we're gonna have someone edit it.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
So yeah, so he's a total pro. If you see any of the Saliva content, he did it for the Hinder tour, and he's back out with us on this. And like I said, we shot the video actually for Crowd Goes Wild at the Elm where we just played in Montana. So very cool. So if you go check out his work, he's done stuff for other bands and does stuff professionally while he's home and stuff in Minnesota too. So
what do you need of me for this video? Where am I at? What do you need? Am I a hot dog vendor? Am I going to play a cop, a doctor? A security guard, event staff? I think
you'd be a believable cop. Actually, I think maybe you could come in and arrest us or something.
Yeah. Look, I had my days of being a thespian. I know how to act, man. I the last movie I did, I had to die in a bathtub, and I'd never done that before. That was tough. So I can do that.
We'll fly in. We'll see if it's in the budget to fly in and out of a.
This day and age, I can shoot it at the house. I totally, if you need a shot of a guy going in his refrigerator, that'd be me. I can do that right then. I got 2 fridges. I'll do 2 shots for you. You can take the best one. All right.
I'll run it by Bob. See what he says.
Say Bailey wants to be in the video. Do we have any spots for a guy going into a refrigerator?
We'll make one for you. How's that?
It was funny.
We'll write you into it.
I always told Brent, I said, there's 2 things I want to do before I die. One is I want to be a part of writing a song, and 2, I want to be in a named music video, because I've been in music videos before. Like I was at Non-Points and this other local band and all that kind of stuff. But I want to be in a name. And I told him, I was like, you guys are in the up and up. Let me get in early. Say no sweat. Just put me in. Don't have to pay me. Just let me do it. And I remember there was like a video that you guys had done off the first album. I forget which one it was. And I think I had texted him or something. I was like, look, not for nothing, man, but I could have totally done that. I could have totally done that. What's going on? And that was the last time I hit him up for it. But that was like 2 things. And now I'm old. I'm 50. You ain't got room for a fit. Now I got to play like a grandparent or something.
Or you can play a dad or something. You could be the angry dad or something. I don't know.
What are you going to do with your life?
Perfect. Exactly. I want to rock.
Okay, so how many more dates do you have on this tour?
Well, since they I guess last night would have been show 21.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's a lot. That's why I look like this.
That's a lot. Think about it. Like before you went out on the road, we're only in episode 18 of this, and we were talking on and off the podcast of going, okay, well, scheduling wise, how we're going to do this. And then in my head, I'm thinking like, God, he's going to be, that's pretty cool of him to be willing to record the show remotely for this whole entire time. But when you think about it, it's only been 3 weeks. That's 3-4 weeks. It's crazy. It's such a short
4 weeks. Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot of shows, man. It's been a great time, but when you're doing 6 in a row, day off, 5 in a row, it's like a European tour or something. That's how they do it over there. You have a show every night. Maybe a day off after like 11 or 12 shows or something over there. But because you gotta hit all those places over there. Same with Australia. When Saliva went in 2018. We flew into Adelaide from Germany, and we had that one day where we visited the koalas and the kangaroos and shit, which was amazing. And then it was a show every day, and we flew every day because you can't really bus tour very effectively in Australia. It's just the countryside. It just doesn't make sense. So yeah, we did Adelaide, Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, and Perth.
Wow.
All 5 in a row, dude. Yeah, it was a lot. But yeah, man, we have, now that they added these 2 shows, I want to say 13 or 14 more shows to go. So yeah, and then yeah, it's a lot. And at the end, it's going to be really tough. Just the logistics of flying from Texas to Florida, playing, and then flying back to Texas for one last show.
Yeah,
So
but then
yeah.
you're done for the year, right?
Yeah, there's going to be a handful of shows, maybe 3 or 4 shows. I think there's something in December, a couple things. I think Bobby may be doing a run, city winery run with Veda, like an acoustic type thing.
Oh, that's
So
cool. That's really cool.
yeah, man. But as far as Saliva goes, it's going to be some things here and there. And then the plan is February, March of next year to hit it pretty hard. There's been talks with Drowning Pool too of doing some stuff in Europe. So yeah, man, there's this, it's all talk until I have a plane ticket, or yeah, but whatever. I mean, is what it is. That's how things go. But you know,
Well,
uh,
it was nice. It was nice to see some vinyl roadies out in Montana wearing the Vinyl Roadies t-shirt. Well,
yeah.
actually, it was the Vinyl Road podcast. It's the only design that we have for the podcast as of yet. But after seeing the Brad/Saliva fans grabbing the merch, by the way, jasonbailey.com, it says merch at the top. You just click that and find, your design, and wearing it out to the shows. And by the way, you two, that couple, you looked good.
They did.
You looked cool. You looked good, and you stood out from the crowd. I want to know and I'm assuming they're listening. So if you could message me or Brad and let us know if anyone asked you about the shirts. I'm curious if anyone said, hey, did you get that at the merch tent? Or where did you get that? Or how can I get that? I'm just curious. But you guys look good. And so I'm thinking of making another design for the podcast, and it has vinyl. I'm a vinyl roadie, something cool. I've got a design guy that can do all that stuff. So vinyl roadies, and you like you're a roadie at the show, at the concert. That'd be kind of cool.
Very cool. Yes. Actually my guys, I think Sebastian was like, hey man, there's a couple people in line that are wearing the Vinyl Roadie shirt. And I was like, no way.
Yeah.
And so, I saw him out there at the show, and then, I went to the merch table after, and they of course were by the merch table. And I was like, first thing I did, I took a selfie and I sent it to you.
Yeah.
I'm like, look at this, man. And apparently we had answered his question on the show too. And he was like, you answered my question. So it was cool to see him, and they were super sweet and supportive and everything. And a fan last night actually that did the VIP experience with Saliva was a super fan of Austin Winkler too, and she had listened to the podcast too, and was like, man, that was super cool thing, because there's some things that people just don't know about their favorite rock star that they might find out here on our show and everything. And of course, with Elise coming on too from Lilac, I thought we've had some really good guests and really good response from their fans and stuff too. Very cool.
I promise to those people that are listening that if there is a question you can think of, there's a 95% chance that I will ask it, or it will be asked, I should say. I'm a prodder. I love to poke and prod, but I'll say this. The last guest, when we had Austin on, you're getting the hang of this microphone thing, not just being a bass player. You came strong. Like, I sat back and, again, my background is radio. This is broadcasting. That's me. Brad is a rock star. He is a bass player. Now we've combined our talents to form this podcast. It is a mixture of the two. Slight advantage me, but big advantage him for who he is. So there's a little learning curve when it comes to the interview style. You crushed it. I mean, like, I sat back as a fan, as a listener, and was listening to some of the questions that you were asking Austin. And I was like, damn, I'm stupid. I didn't even think, but you knew stuff I didn't know about. And I was like, God, this is good. This is really, really good. I didn't even want to talk the rest of the show. I thought it was just so you did such a great job, dude. I just,
thank you. I appreciate that, man. I'm hopefully getting a little better at this part, from this angle. And thankfully with him, I have history, and it was cool. I mean, I'm talking history that goes 2003. Like, I mean, because our bands basically came out at the same time. And we were friends, but I mean, you're also competitors too. Yeah. I mean, in some ways, and the story with playing with Stained, and our band kind of bumped them down.
Yeah, that was good.
And I was like, shit, sorry about that. I mean, I'm not doing that shit. But and he was like, no, dude, we didn't care. I mean, they didn't care because they were out selling us fucking 2-to-1, Stain and Shine Down, at the merch table. And like I said, when they played Lips, man, the whole place erupted, and it was really amazing sight to see, of course. And the rest of their set was great too, of course. But yeah, it's just it is cool to have some history, with some of our guests, and just to be able to kind of give people some inside information that they may
Oh,
not be able to get,
so the vinyl roadie that suggested Riggs, the guitarist for Zombie, because he's a big alien guy, he reached out to him, and the dude responded to him and said, "No, thanks. I'm going to pass."
I saw that. Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
It's like, okay.
I love those records that Riggs was on, and and of course, the White Zombie stuff too. But like, I always respected him. I still do as a guitar player, and I thought it's cool that him and Blasco actually came back into
Mhm.
Zombie, because that was my personally, when they were in the band, those were the best records, I thought, for Rob Zombie.
Yeah, I really, I don't care about that. I wanted to have him. I wanted to have him come on so I could
Well,
ask. He thinks that civilization started on Mars before Earth. I wanted to have that conversation, and
that's a great combo. Did you see Joe Rogan just posted I guess there was a human skull that had been discovered.
on Mars.
No, on Earth, but
Oh,
apparently it's way older than.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Did you see that? Yeah, it puts us,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
was it
yeah, yeah,
like a million years? It's been like a long time.
yeah, yeah.
Way
Well,
longer. So
ha-
all of that shit goes out the window as far as the
have you
timeline of humanity, right?
have you gotten to the Life on Mars episode of the new series of Ancient Aliens?
Not yet. No, no,
Oh,
no,
so that
no,
okay, so that's why you were kind of. I thought you were going to jump in on that. Oh, dude,
nope, nope.
wait. Oh my God, wait.
Now, I've
So
seen structures and pictures and shit like that look man-made, absolutely, but I haven't seen that episode yet. But I mean,
well, the
uh,
conspiracy is NASA is purposely giving us these grainy photos of Mars and letting our imaginations run wild when they have extremely clear pictures of everything on Mars. And then there was a whistleblower that used to work for NASA that came out and started talking about all these pictures that they actually have. And I guess there's a picture that exists that you can find yourself on the internet of, so the rover that we have on Mars, it's got all these different cameras, but one of the cool things that it does is it can take the camera and take a picture of itself or video itself, and they use that so if they have to make any fixes or repairs to the rover. So in the middle of the night, they get this picture of, or somebody gets this picture, or whatever the case may be, of a looks like a person leaning over the rover fixing it on Mars. Yeah. Yeah.
or is it really on Mars?
Or
That is it just shot in a Hollywood basement like Stanley Kubrick style, like the moon shit? I mean, because come on, they lost the technology to go to the fucking moon. Give me a fucking break, bro.
yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? And you look at that footage, and it takes off, and I'm like, but what happened to the cameraman? Shit like that. There's some holes in that story, bro. I'm sorry. And people are like, no, you're crazy. We went there and this and that and the other. And I'm like, okay,
so,
maybe
so
we did, but not at the time that they're saying that we did. That's my problem with it. And then all of a sudden, Stanley Kubrick dies and all this weird shit went on. And there was signs that, Kubrick put in his movies, like in The Shining. Are you familiar with this? You know what I'm talking
no,
about?
I know The Shining, but I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a deep dive. But they, so when he did 2001: A Space Odyssey, they
Oh,
basically allegedly commissioned him to shoot the
mm,
moon landing and
yeah, I've
footage.
heard this. Yeah.
But then they as part of that deal, they weren't allowed to edit his movies or censor his movies after that. And so he put some clues inside of his movies, like The Shining. But the original version, I guess, of Eyes Wide Shut, they the studio didn't allow him to have his full version or something. He was like, well, no, that's this is my art. This is my movie. And I guess they did censor some shit. And there's some dark things in that movie that go on with Hollywood, like elites, and there's. Have you seen the movie Eyes Wide Shut? You remember with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman? Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Mm.
I could go further with this, but I mean, it's something that you should definitely look up. And I want to say, Kubrick's daughter like kind of denied it, but I'm sure she was scared for her life and shit like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's pretty.
When you get to this episode, they'll talk about how there's theories that we were actually on Mars before the moon. And so there's this very renowned, he's dead now, astrophysicist. He's like the reason we landed on the moon. He's a German, Van something or another.
Warner von Braun. Yeah.
Warner von Braun. Yeah. Right. And he wrote a book, 91 page, pretty much manifest, Project Mars. And it's like literally how you get to Mars, like scientifically how you get to Mars. And Elon Musk is kind of under the same kind of trance of going, hey, look, this Earth eventually, like it's 100% chance we're going to get hit by an asteroid. 100%. We just don't know when. So we got to figure something out on how to move. Now, there's theories of like the Grand Canyon, how it was made. And it could have possibly been made by this electric bolt, like if there was a war in outer space. And they have all this technology to kind of prove it. You look on Mars, and some of the stuff that we see on Mars, you see pyramids and man-made structures of like Buddha, a cross, a catacomb. I mean, all these different things that are on Earth. So it's like, were we on Mars first? And then Mars got destroyed in some intergalactic war or whatever the case may be. And those people came to Earth. I know this sounds crazy, but this is the shit Brad wanted to talk about. I was like, let's first talk rock and roll. Now you got me. I told you I could talk about this shit all day. I love
it. I love it. Yes.
Love stuff.
I've heard, that we have the technology and have had the technology to visit Mars, and we are doing so regularly. And that's something I mean, because if you think about it, I mean, think about the Roswell crash and how long ago that was. And you look at Bob Lazar and how he was talking about the anti gravity reactor that enabled it to fly. Are you familiar with the Bob Lazar and all that business?
Yeah. I know that guy.
Okay. So he's been on Joe Rogan before, of course, and everything else, written books and
that's what helped launch Rogan, by the way. Like that was one of the first big interviews that Rogan had. Was that guy, and people were like, "What? Rogan's doing what? He's interviewing crazy people like that." And I remember that. That was big. Yeah,
that was big, and that was before they even admitted that Area 51 existed. Remember? Yeah. But he was at a facility that was on the site, but it was S12 or something, and that's where they housed the vehicles that had been recovered, whether they had crashed or whatnot. So yeah, very, very interesting. So you imagine physicists that had been working on that technology for this long, pretty sure they figured it out and how now they actually, there was an element that the reactor had to I think it was element 115. Are you familiar? That allegedly Bob Lazar took some of that with him before they I guess they fired him from his position there. And then they tried to smear his name and say that he was never there, bullshit, this and that. But then there was records of him actually being there and working on these things. But the way that they do that kind of research and stuff, everything's compartmentalized. So he would only work on the one craft, which I guess he called it the sport model, because it was like the size of it, I guess, versus the other crafts was like more like
that's crazy. Think of it like a big garage and there's all these UFOs or whatever they call it now. It's just absolutely nuts. They also talk about in the new series of Ancient Aliens about how there's a whole Black Ops operation that's funded trillions of dollars that just disappears every year from the government, and there are so we have soldiers up there, and possibly we have a base already on Mars, so I mean, when the
not only soldiers but pilots that are non-terrestrial pilots that they've actually recovered documents of the names of these individuals that are not, they're not terrestrial pilots, or they're flying the crafts, and they have,
Yeah.
it shows their name and their rank and the
Crazy,
whole shit. Yeah, dude.
crazy,
Yeah, let's
crazy.
fucking go.
Yeah.
I love this shit, dude. Yeah.
That'll be the next podcast that Brad and I do. We're not going to talk rock and roll at all. We're just going to talk aliens. Dude, so if I can possibly so I had Giorgio on the Bailey Show podcast.
Oh, dude, that would be
Yeah, and
huge.
that was amazing. And he enjoyed being on the show so much that the guy that books that podcast, he afterwards said, "Hey, anytime he wants me to come back on, preferably when I'm promoting something, I'll go on. Just let me know." And I'm like, oh. So maybe
he's got to come on the Vinyl Road, bro. We gotta get in. Come on, man.
So maybe what I'll do is I'll reach out to my booker and I'll see if I can get him on. I'll just say, "Hey, can I book him again?" And I'm not going to tell him which podcast it's on, and get him on this one. And we just talk. He stayed on for like an hour with us. It was awesome. It was
it's going to be 3 hours for this, trust me. If not longer, he's going to have to just shut his camera off and get and dip.
That's funny. Before we wrap this up, I want to have the conversation because I'm sure the Vinyl Roadies are expecting us to bring this up this week. This week, it was announced that the Super Bowl halftime show will be that of Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny, the Puerto Rican rapper, will be performing the Super Bowl halftime show, compliments of Apple Music and Jay-Z's Rock Nation. How do we feel? And if you've listened to the BS this week, you already know how I feel. But Brad Stewart, how do you feel about Bad Bunny being the Super Bowl halftime show?
I think it's a bad choice.
Why?
I just is the kind of artist that, I mean, for football fan, I don't know. It doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I don't know, man. It just, and I know Jay-Z, it's his thing, right? That's who books. How did he get that position anyway? To be in control of that? Because I just don't feel like it's very, how do I put this nicely? I don't know. You know what I mean? Is it a big enough star or someone that should be in that position to perform on a stage that big, man? Like, I mean, even someone like Sabrina Carpenter, like, she's a pop star, like, that would make better sense to me. I don't know. It just would.
Well,
they're not going to have a rock band or a metal band but that was cool when Gojira did the Olympics. Yeah. And they're from France. I thought that was cool because I'm like, dude, that's something that has that ever happened? No.
Well, it should be
Metallica. A metal band ever played the fucking Olympics? I don't think so. So that was cool. I thought, man,
it should be Metallica because the Super Bowl's in Santa Clara or San Francisco, and people, the Metallica thing is now becoming lore. Every year people are like Metallica. So if there's ever a time that it makes sense, it would be this year. And it's almost kind of turned into a joke. Here's my stance on Super Bowl halftime shows, because, obviously being in rock radio for so many years, you want to go on the air and it's never a rock band outside of, you had the Chili Peppers and Prince, but you always want to go on the air and bash it, right? You want to bash it. It was horrible because it's not rock and roll. So I've learned to be as open-minded as possible, but with common sense. I'm the prince of common sense. So they got to have common sense. Here's the thing. The Super Bowl halftime show is a performance. It's not a show, right? So, and there's a difference. The difference is if you're an artist, you go do a show for your crowd. They buy tickets. Saliva, you're on tour. You're doing shows each and every night to the Saliva crowd. A performance is when an artist will perform for an event, right? And in that matter, in that definition, that performance needs to be as mainstream as humanly possible. I don't understand why the Super Bowl does not subscribe to the theory of collaborations. Go back to 2000, 2001, Aerosmith, Nelly, Missy Elliott, NSYNC. That was awesome. They did a great job. Thought it was awesome. Then they got away from that, and then they would just have a Katy Perry. I mean, Prince, you can't top that because God made that awesome by having it rain during Purple Rain. You know what I mean? But it's very difficult I think that the Super Bowl halftime show, there should be a running theme, whatever city it's in, the artist should be either from that city or have some type of ties to that city. You know what I'm saying?
I concur.
Like
Yes,
Metallica.
absolutely.
Metallica, San
Metallica.
Francisco.
I
Makes
mean,
sense.
Green Day's from the area too. They were a pretty big band. That might make some kind of sense. I don't know if they're quite as relevant as Metallica. I mean, Metallica is as big as it gets.
Third Eye Blind is from San Francisco.
Yeah.
Stephen
Nah,
Jenkins.
nah, not him. No, come on, man. No, he's
Yeah.
not right. I played some shows before, and I've been around him a few times. He was actually a nice dude.
Yeah,
Steve.
cool dude. So just anyway, you just had the some kind of ties to that area, because then you already have the welcome pop because you're from the area. Let's welcome from San Francisco. It is Metallica. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Bad Bunny. You know, I know they're trying to do the international thing, and he's Puerto Rican. Even though let's know our let's know our geography. Puerto Rico is part of the kind of
It's a territory. It's not a state though. But
I know it's a territory, but they're still our people. I don't even know if he raps in English, to be honest with you. I don't think he does. I mean, I could be off. I'm not a Bad Bunny fan other than what I see on the WWE. You've got to collaborate. You've got to put him with somebody, So if you get like a Youngblood would have been great.
That would have been great too. I mean, and he's blowing up. I mean, he's
huge. He's in the States too right now, I believe.
Yeah. I know some people that are like, oh, I just went and saw him. If you gotta go and see it. It's like the show to see, and the collaboration with Steven Tyler and Aerosmith and just everything that he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just he's just rocket to the moon, man, like killing it. I love to see that because I do feel like he's carrying the torch now for rock and just stylistically, hopefully is gonna be part of bringing it back in a big way, back to the mainstream, because that's it. I still feel like it's just been, we've talked about this before on award shows and everything else. It's just like half the time it ain't even televised, the rock performances or the rock, the category, or it's you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the winners, and the rock category is at the fucking very bottom. And typically they get it wrong. It's not even a rock band, it's just, it's bullshit is what it is. So but Youngblood, dude, that dude's, he's rock and roll, man, to me, dude. I don't know if I sent you that when he's like, hey, this is Youngblood. This is my first drink at a music festival. And then he goes through, hey, it's my 12th drink. And he's fucking hammered, dude. And he's like, like drink 17, and the guy knocks it out of his hand, and they're just laughing. And I'm like, and then people are like, he should really watch out for himself because he should learn from Ozzy. And what I'm like, shut the fuck up, man. Really? This dude, that is rock and roll. That guy, that is rock and roll. We need more of that fucking shit. We don't need to be, we need to be, super nice and all this bullshit. No, you need to fucking be rock and roll like him. That's cool, Anyway, all right, that's my 2 cents on that shit.
So do me a favor, Brad, put together, if Bad Bunny's out for you and the Super Bowl people called you, said, we need you to put together an ensemble cast of who's going to perform this year in Santa Clara at the Super Bowl. Go ahead. Who's your lineup going to be?
Like in the same bands together?
Just give me 3 artists. Just any 3 artists.
Well, Youngblood, definitely. I mean, it would have to be Youngblood. We already said it. Youngblood, Metallica, maybe,
and Bad Bunny.
Not Bad Bunny. I don't know. Maybe throw a rapper in there. I still love it. I still love like a real rapper, like Eminem or somebody, or Ice Cube or something. Maybe get Ice Cube up in there, man, or Snoop. I thought that made sense when Snoop and Dre they did that whole thing. It's already been done, but that made sense to me. That was cool. I thought, and it wasn't rock and roll, but it was cool.
You're also
Snoop has a band though. Like he actually has a drummer and a bass player, Bubby. I mean, he's actually, when Snoop plays, he's not just playing to playback shit, which I think is fucking awesome, honestly.
Well, you are in a blue state for this year's Super Bowl, so it would not be a bad idea for your Super Bowl halftime show to do Ice Cube, Ice-T, and Vanilla Ice. That would make a statement. I think that would be pretty funny, actually.
That would be Ice. Vanilla Ice? Come on, bro.
3 ices. You need three ices there. That's all you need is 3 ices just to irritate people. I think that would be pretty funny.
Okay.
No, you're not feeling it.
Ice-T still is out there doing the body count. I mean,
Yeah, you're missing my point, though. My point is that it's a blue state, and you have 3 bands of Ice. That's the point. It's a political joke, is what it is.
They're gonna burn the buses down again. I get it. I know. I get it. I just don't want to jinx this because we're in one of those places where that just fucking happened. No, yeah. Ice. I get it, man. No,
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe Metallica will make a surprise appearance. Who knows? I don't see Metallica being ones to take a backseat to Bad Bunny by no stretch of the imagination. I just cannot believe they dropped the ball like that. And Jay-Z's like, he's not a stupid guy. Look what he did with Linkin Park. He understands rock. He likes rock. He's a fan of rock and roll. You're like, what the shit, man? And again, I don't want to bash on this Bad Bunny guy because I'm not familiar with his music, and I'm sure those that love Bad Bunny, I mean, he's a big deal. There's no doubt about it. He's a big deal. WWE brought him in. He's that big of a deal. But, like even Jelly Roll, like who caters to, I mean, if you're talking about the prototypical guy that caters to rock and roll, to country, and to top 40 in one very large, lost a lot of weight body, Jelly Roll is the guy to go to. Surprised they didn't go with him this year for the Super Bowl halftime show.
That would have been a great choice, actually, because he does cover a lot of bases as far as stylistically. I mean, they can't even categorize him. And I know it's kind of country has kind of embraced him, the country folks. But I mean, he is kind of his own artist. I think. I mean, and I think. Plus, he's an American. I mean, it's America, man. Super Bowl. It does get any more American than the Super Bowl. Like as far as I mean, but I guess we are American, so we need to invite foreign artists to play our things, and that's what because otherwise.
Well, again, Puerto Rico's not really foreign, but I understand what you're saying. But
you know what I'm saying.
The NFL is trying to be international this year. Look at all what they're doing. Dublin and London and Mexico and Brazil and all these different places. I think this year more than any other year, we're in other countries more than we've been before in the past. So they're trying to be as international as possible. But anyway, back to the music side of things. Jelly Roll by trade is a rapper, for those that don't know. I mean, he came up like with 3 6 Mafia and all those guys, and that was his thing. And, having ties to Zach and Brent and Shinedown, Memphis guy, and all that stuff. And then, kind of morphs into what he is today and now. But you throw like a Bad Bunny up with him, that would be perfect because he can rap, so now you got all the.
I think Post Malone would have been cool too because Post and Jelly Roll have collaborated too. Maybe Post have
Jelly.
Jelly, Bad Bunny, and then at least it's not just the one guy. You're covering more bases there, and more of a fan base, really. Mm-hmm. I love Post Malone. Post Malone is, I mean, he was a metal guy. He did the thing with Ozzy, but stylistically, he was known for his R&B and his that. Then he went and he won over the country music folks too, and I love him. I think he's awesome. I hope he's around. I think that would have been a great choice. I mean, he would make total sense to me.
Kid Rock, Jelly Roll. I love Kid Rock. Kid Rock, Jelly Roll. Throw a rapper up there of your choice.
Saliva.
I was waiting for that. Saliva up there. You got all kinds of options, but. They're null and void because they're in San Francisco or Santa Clara, and it should be Metallica without a doubt. Or have Metallica perform at Alcatraz and fly them over or something like that, or live from Alcatraz, Metallica. So I don't know, something. I mean, there's so much stuff you can do with this thing, but you left out Metallica. It's just very disappointing. From the business side of things, from the entertainment, the show business side of things, you missed out. Bad Bunny makes no sense. Metallica makes sense. You're in San Francisco. I'd rather see Uncle Ben perform on the back of a trolley. I'd rather see Jesse and whatever his band was called on Full House living in San Francisco perform than Bad Bunny, to be honest with you.
Damn, that's pretty harsh.
Jesse, it was Jesse and the Slammers, or remember that band of the Full House? Jesse,
Out, man. That
what's the
was.
band? He's always playing with the Beach Boys. The Beach Boys they're always on there, doing that.
I love the Beach Boys. What a great band, man! Wow.
All right. Okay. You want to wrap this up? Get some shut eye. Get ready to rock and roll. Get ready to do some music videos. Get ready to be a rock star and finish out the Saliva tour.
I'm ready. Yes. Just stoked to be out here doing the thing. Stoked to see Vinyl Roadies on the road. Stoked for everyone that's listening. Stoked for all the guests. Stoked for my co-host, of course. We have more shit in store as far as out here and on this show. And I think, I think people are going to dig this song. And we've been putting out a lot of songs lately, and I think it's very cool. I'm hoping that, before the end of this tour that Austin gets up and sings this one with us,
That'd be cool. Yeah.
because that has not happened yet. So it's something I think for the fans, people's attention span is very short. I mean, I think especially, with the younger generation coming up in the TikTok, sort of very short attention span. So you got to keep feeding them with new things that they can hopefully latch onto and internalize. And that's what we've been trying to do, trying to keep it fresh, trying to keep, new songs coming out and new content. People may be sick of us. I don't know at this point, because, we try to post stuff along the way and document it and keep it out there. And I think it's been a lot of fun. I mean, it's been kind of a grind. There's been a lot of shows, but we're having fun every night, and that's the most important part. I think that comes across in the performance.
Yeah, one of the big things that you Saliva fans can do, and probably for Gen Xers not getting this, not understanding this, maybe even millennials, to be honest with you, but like when you're posting stuff and it's Saliva or it doesn't even have to be Saliva related. And if you're doing any type of reels on Instagram or TikTok, use Saliva's music. Like that is so powerful. I mean, people are discovering new music. And what was I reading the other day? Like the number one place to discover new music was TikTok or something like that. People aren't listening to terrestrial radio for new music. And, you don't know where to find it if you listen to Spotify or something like that, unless the song, you can find it, but it's, I know they've got new music and they'll give you notifications and stuff like that, but TikTok and Instagram, that's where you're finding your new music. So always include Saliva. And even if you want to take it a step further, the latest song you'd want to use in your reel. That's huge, man. It's huge. Not a big payday for you guys, but it's good for promotion.
Yeah. And then also, when they come to the show and we play this song, they're like, holy shit. They know the words, or they can, especially if they like the song, they're stoked that we played it. Now, granted, we can't play all the songs, so we're trying to still have that good mix of the old classic stuff, of course, that people expect. But also for me, seeing the fans out there singing along to the new stuff is it's cool to see that, man. It's not just like the legacy stuff that's still relevant. It's like the new stuff's relevant too. And I think there's been people that may argue to the contrary, but that's just not true, because people are consuming the new stuff as much as the old stuff, Yeah.
Has Bobby taken my advice with The Crowd Goes Wild? Have you told him yet?
We're not doing that one, man, live. I think that one's a little tough for him to sing.
Really?
So we're not doing that one. I've lobbied for it. Trust me.
That's like the perfect live song to do. Like to start out the show. That's a Shine Down Sound of Madness is their show opener, or at least it used to be, right? And which is a great song to open a show. Your curtain jerker song, you want people up and at them. Crowd Goes Wild, with my little tutelage and little insert there, is perfect to open a show.
Well, it has to knock Ladies and Gentlemen out of that spot. And Ladies and Gentlemen, think of the lyrics. Good evening. You've seen what seeing is believing. To open the show with that song, it still makes a ton of sense. Plus, it's a song it's a legacy song. Maybe Crowd Goes Wild could be second, or at the end or something. I don't know.
Or Crowd Goes Wild first song. Get into your set, And just like any artist, there's the peaks and the valleys. When you come down and do like an always or something, or you have the break where everybody needs a drink and Bobby's talking to the crowd or something like that, and you need to find that transition to bring it back up. And then you hear, ladies and gentlemen, that boom right there, middle of the set, bringing them back up to here. So just saying.
No, you're right. You're right. We've actually moved always, historically it would go like always, your disease, and then click. We would end it that way almost, I mean, for a long, long time. But now we've pushed, we've moved, we've made some moves, we've added, we've added some stuff. And again, another new song coming too. We'll see if that gets added. At least it would make sense while Austin's still out here with us, to do so. I think he's going to ride with us to Sacramento for Aftershock. So, we do Reno this week. So we do Portland, Reno, and so Friday is Aftershock.
Did you bring the shirt? Tell me you brought the shirt.
Oh no, my wife's flying out. I'm going to have her bring the shirt.
Don't forget, dude. You cannot forget that shirt. That is so important to me. Please
listen to the Bailey Show.
Yeah, it's my Bailey Show shirt when I was in Sacramento. And so the radio station I worked at will be a big part of Aftershock. And if you're wearing that shirt when you go to the interview, and I know you're going to do the interview with, and he's a good dude, don't get me wrong, I got no heat with him. And actually the guy that runs the station now is an old friend of mine from Orlando. He's a phenomenal human being. If he were there when I was there, this would probably not be happening. I'd still probably be out there. But for the shock and all, I want you to wear the shirt, just walk around, see if anybody remembers the show, and then see how they react when they do the interview and take pictures with you and have to post it on their social media. It's funny.
I got it. She's flying out on Thursday. So she's bringing me some stuff from home too, because I mean, you start running out of shit, medicine, things that you like, probiotics and things that you fucking need out here. Right. And thankfully she's gonna, and God, we hadn't seen each other in weeks. It's been a minute. A lot of times typically there's windows where I could fly home during tour, but not this time. So it's been a minute. Yeah. It's been a lot of shows. So I'm excited that she's coming out and Reno's we did Reno with Drowning Pool. I guess it was last year, and we're playing the same place. It was packed, and they fucking loved it. And it was.
Where are you playing? Peppermill?
No. Hold on, stand by. Let's see. Here it is, right here, Virginia Street Brew House. It's a concert venue. It's like a concert hall.
Yeah, Reno's a tricky little place. Like, very few, if any, direct flights. It's like small, but yet you get to Reno. It's big and it's got a lot of history, and you can see it. And it's kind of in that standstill stage of being Vegas's redheaded stepchild, but yet a hop, skip, and a jump from Sacramento, and maybe
Lake Tahoe too. We're gonna rent a car and we're gonna go down to Lake Tahoe and
Lake Tahoe
cruise around. It's so beautiful out there, man. I love that part of the country too. It's fucking
scary
amazing.
Drive, dude. Scary ass drive.
Yes. We did it last time. I rented a 4Runner. And it's dicey, dude. Like some of those mountain turns, I mean, it's like tight, bro. It's, definitely fit to the bus through there,
If you go north to south, it's not as bad. South to north, there's that last turn. It is terrifying. Absolutely. I mean, I was white knuckling. But if you go up north after you leave Tahoe and you go to a place called Virginia City, it's really, really cool. Like if you have time to do that, it's like this old Western town. It's so cool. Like you're walking through a dirt street. So cool. And it's got history. Very, very interesting. The people are very, very interesting, but it's got the historic, got a sweatshirt from it. It's got this historic saloon there.
Is it haunted? Is it haunted?
No.
They
sell the drink. It's called the Red Blood something or another. I'll text it to you, and somebody listening is knowing what I'm talking about. But it's like something you have to do in your life is have this specific drink at this bar in the middle of BFE. It's pretty cool. It's really cool.
I think I've seen this on a show or something. Like, I don't know.
It was
It's like
like
a
what
vampire drink. It's like a not like a Bloody Mary, but it's something kind of like that, right?
called the red, and I think the saloon's called like the Red Blood something. God, it's downstairs, but I think they're known for they were the first printing press or first newspaper or something came out. And they still have the same shop. It's like intact. It's kind of cool. It's a lot of cool Western history. You know, when I moved from the South to the West Coast, and I was only there for a year, and again, I had the worst year of my life there, but I will give the credit where credit is due. The topography was gorgeous. The climate was a cool, no pun intended, change. But to learn, you know, it's one thing to learn about the history of the South, because, you know, you have the Civil War, you have, you know, of course, slavery and all this horrible stuff, you know, that stuff. The South has cool history. Don't get me wrong. The West history is a lot different because it's surrounded by gold and the gold miners and people traveling across country from the East Coast to the West Coast to make a new life for themselves. Then you have the Wild West and how cowboys came about and who they actually were, which, by the way, they were soldiers from the Civil War, from the South, that actually, those are the ones that became cowboys.
Right.
They were
all the Native American history too.
All the Native American. Yeah, it's the to learn about the entire country, which obviously you have a better chance of doing because of your travels. That was cool to me, to educate myself on another part of the country. I just thought that was cool. Yeah. So the history and
Absolutely.
stuff.
I love it out here. Whenever I see the dates and we're heading west, I'm just like, man, of course I was born in the South. I love the South as well. But getting out here to Pacific Northwest and California, Nevada, Utah. Have you ever been to Zion?
No.
In Utah? Oh man, you got.
I've never been to Utah or Montana. Two places I want to go to.
You have to, like Angel's Landing. Look it up in you know, Zion National Park. It's so basically there's parts of it where there's only one way to get up to it, and there's people coming down. They had to start doing a lottery system because I guess people were falling off the thing and dying and shit because there's too many. You actually physically have to. Someone's coming down and they're holding a rope or a chain, and you have to go around them and let them through because that's the only way to get up to Angel Landing.
That's cool. I tell you what,
crazy, dude. And there's a Scouts lookout too, dude. That's where my wife and I. It was our anniversary trip, and we had a visitation from a California condor, a big black. He landed right next to us, bro. And it was so. Come to find out, we didn't know what it meant, like or what it could possibly mean. So we looked it up later on, and condors actually mate for life. Again, this was our anniversary trip. They don't eat anything that's living or kill anything. That they're vultures. Essentially, they eat things that are already dead, of course. And so there was all this other deep meaning. And this one lady was messing with the thing until she chased it off and it flew away. And I'm like, what the fuck? But anyway, I have footage of that happening. But people were literally running up to. They're like, we heard there's a condor that just landed, because you know for a time there they were almost extinct, and because like shaman, they would wear their feathers because this bird was, you know, revered by Native American cultures and other cultures, as I guess they thought they could help them see into the afterlife or something. I could be getting this wrong, but look it up, man. Really interesting. But that happened, and I was like, it had these big white feet, and it's this blackbird. And when he flew away, dude, it was like
pterodactyl.
Dude, he was huge, like his wingspan. Yeah, it was like, holy shit, man. So that was actually a really cool trip. I would recommend Zion highly, man. And we went in November, where it was kind of like the season was ending, so it wasn't quite as packed. You know,
well,
so
I'll tell you this: if I can get 1,000 more subscribers to the BS podcast, I'm taking a trip to Utah. Okay, so you guys, vinyl roadies, if you're not listening, go to jasonbailey.com and subscribe. Help a brother out so I can get to Utah, and then I can go and visit Alan Stanwyck's parents.
From Fletch, put it on Underhill. Yeah, you know, Mrs. Stanwyck. No, so also if you haven't done Sedona, you got to do Sedona, bro. If you're into hiking or vortexes and like that sort of thing.
California?
No, Sedona, Arizona.
Oh, Sedona, Arizona. Okay, no, not Sedona, Arizona.
Which, speaking of UFO activity,
ooh, good one.
Yeah, that there's some shit going on out in Arizona, bro,
All right.
especially around that area.
You
But
vinyl
anyway,
roadies, get on it so I get some subscribers so I can head on over there and do all these things. All right, look, here's the thing. Go to saliva.com. Make sure that you're getting your tickets if they're coming in and around your area. There's still room for extra dates. I don't know if you guys are doing this or not. Get a hold of your local radio station. Don't bother calling them. There's nobody in the studio. Go to their social media. There's a lot of Saliva fan groups. There's a Vinyl Roadie private Facebook group. If you guys want this tour in your city before it's too late, go to the radio station's social media and say, hey, bring this tour to fill in the blank. All right. Make some noise. Stand up for what you love, man. That's what it's all about. That's rock and roll, right?
damn right.
It's saying, hey, dude, we want this. You're supposedly supposed to super serve us. Spend a few dollars and bring this damn fucking band out of here. You know, that's what you got to do. Also, jasonbailey.com. Thanks to all of our sponsors. You can see a list of them there. Please use them if you are a business and would like to sponsor not only this podcast, but the other two during the week. Honey, I Raised the Kids on Mondays, the BS Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. You get all the shows when you become a sponsor under the BPX umbrella. It's the Bailey Podcast Exchange. 3 different shows, 5 days a week, 1 podcast feed. If that interests you, there is a spot right there on jasonbailey.com. Takes you 2 seconds, fill it out. I'll get back a hold of you like quick, fast, in a hurry, and we'll rock and roll, and we'll be able to promote your brand and your business, and it'll be cool. Really, really cool. Like, share, repost, forward, get some people in your network. Tell them to listen to the Vinyl Road podcast. If they're not already, that helps us out tremendously. All right. Got anything you want to leave everybody with?
Just super grateful. Thank you all for listening. Thanks to Vinyl Roadies for spreading the word, and all the peeps out there. You come into the Saliva shows, and for the love of rock and roll, and let's keep rock alive and bring it back in a big way. Come to our show. It's a lot of energy. I think you'll. Hopefully they'll be pleased. Sometimes you go to a show and you're like, yeah, it was all right. I hope that they don't leave our show like that. I really do feel like that we give it everything we got up there, man. And I think it translates and transfers the energy, so. But thanks for listening. Grateful. Thank you for my gracious co-host.
Wear your Vinyl Roadies or your Vinyl Road podcast shirts. And if you don't have one, again, jasonbailey.com in the merch store. Look, appreciate everything you guys do, not only for this podcast, but all the podcasts throughout the week. There's been a huge growing support for this show. Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing the content on social media. I will leave you with this. If you're going to be doing some drinking, I understand. I get it. But if you've had too much, please don't get behind the wheel of a car. I've lost way too many friends like that. And a newly added addition to this saying, don't get online and post if you've had too much to drink, because you're going to lose all your friends. I'm telling you that right now. All right. Have a good one. We'll talk soon, and bye.
I think we should do a podcast about rock and roll. I got some stories.
That's it for this episode. Check out jasonbailey.com for more shows. Until next time.
All right.
3 different shows, 5 days a week, 1 feed, details, and to subscribe, jasonbailey.com.